Ever since I came back from my hiatus, I have wanted to prove two things. One, that I'm here to stay, and two, that I am an incredibly skilled player. From the beginning of this channel, all the way back whenever I released my Neo RC, Jesus Christ, that was 6 years ago, dude. I am fucking old. It was clear that I wanted one thing, to be the best at whatever game I was playing. But even doing some of the hardest challenges I've done so far, I don't feel like these are hard enough. So I want to do something today that I probably should not. Most players, whenever they attempt a no-hit, have watched hours and hours of no-hit videos, or at least have an incredible skill at the game. But me, I don't got time for all that. Today, we're gonna see if I can beat Cuphead hitless first try. Going into this challenge, I knew very little about Cuphead in its entirety. Although I'd watched Jacksepticeye's series on it when it first came out, other than that one instance, I hadn't even thought about Cuphead in years. But after purchasing Cuphead after Christmas, and finishing my Bloodborne No Death, I decided it was the perfect time to take on a challenge that very few people had ever complete. Now it should be pretty obvious by these videos, I've never done a no-hit before. I didn't even know that there was a whole team who had defined what a hit was and what counted as a hit and doesn't count as a hit. Which, think about in hindsight, it's pretty important whenever you have people running around saying that they did a no-hit and all they did was hold up a shield the whole time. But luckily, thanks to the way that Cuphead is programmed, what counts as a hit and what doesn't is very simple. Whatever does damage to me is counted as a hit, and whatever doesn't do damage to me, or I dodge, doesn't count as a hit. Pretty simple. Now thanks to my years of hitting one-taps on Siege, I've gotten really good at timing and precision, which are very important for no-hitting Cuphead. And thanks to that, a lot of the bosses were actually pretty easy until you factor in luck. But we'll get more into that later. The first bosses that we fight are the Root Pack, who are very easy all things considered. This potato has a completely scripted attack phase, where all you gotta do is just jump over his attacks. You can parry this little worm here, but I never did. The second phase is this onion type thing that will cry. All you have to do is stick to the left side and just walk away whenever a tear comes down on top of you. The third and final phase that you will encounter is the carrot phase. The carrot will send flying carrots at your location, and at all times, no matter where you're standing, meaning you can't just move out the way. Go ahead and just shoot them out of the sky. The second attack he'll do is this sort of psychic thing. You can just run in a straight line and be able to avoid this attack very easily. All in all, this boss is extremely easy for whenever you're trying to no-hit, so there's no real difficulty to be had.
Yeah! Complete a level without getting hit!
The next thing I did was the first run and gun level, and although these run and gun levels don't count towards my no-hit, I still had to do them for the coins, so whenever I did do them, I tried to no-hit them.
There we go. Finally! That took me way too long.
The next boss we're going to face is Ruz. He's actually surprisingly easy. Whenever he jumps around the arena, just stay as far away as you possibly can, and then go under him whenever he tries to jump on you. During the phase transition, he's going to get really big. Yeah. All you have to do during this phase transition is make sure that you lay as much damage into him as you possibly can. During the actual second phase, nothing really changes. The only difference is that he has a much bigger hitbox now. During the third and final phase, he's going to turn into a tombstone. During this phase, he's going to run around and slam the ground randomly. When he slams the ground, just get out of the way. And most of the time, he won't be able to hit you. But sometimes he stops in a very awkward position and is going to hit you either way. During this phase, you're going to want to use the spread shot, as using the pea shooter is going to give you too small of range unless you're jumping up and down the whole time, or shooting directly up at his face.
Oh my god, finally! Why did it take so long?
After this point, we are officially in the hard section of Inqua Isle 1, and this is where not looking up guides is going to cause us the most amount of headache. All in all, these first few bosses aren't very difficult when you're doing your first playthrough, but they are very difficult when you're doing your first playthrough hitless. The last 3 bosses on Inkwell Isle 2 we will take in this order, with the hardest being Flowey at the very end. Mind you, I didn't plan this out ahead of time, this is just how I ended up doing it, but it ended up fucking me over because I did the hardest boss last. The first of our hard bosses is the Frog Duo. Unfortunately for the Frog Duo, I no-hit them originally, but for some reason I don't have the footage for that, so I had to come back later after going to Inkwell Isle 2 to do it again, which is why I have the Super Art 2 that you get in Inkwell Isle 2 while fighting this boss. But for the other 2 bosses, I have the complete footage of me beating them originally, so we won't have to pop back and forth like we did with this one. Starting this boss is completely dependent on which boss goes first, because the tall frog will shoot out flies that will fly towards you. You have to shoot them out of the air before they can get to you, or otherwise they'll do damage to you. Now the pattern he shoots them out in is completely random, so there's no predicting which way it goes. But the short frog has a completely set pattern that will go through every single time. All you gotta do is jump the first one, duck the next 3, and then repeat. During the next phase, the frogs will be on either side of you. One of them will be using wind to push you into the other frog, while the other frog uses attacks that will bounce around the arena. Use the frog's wind to push you out of the way of each attack. After mastering this system, the second phase is honestly the easiest. In the third phase, the tall frog literally eats his homeboy.
The members occupy the center of the pond.
During this phase, they turn into a slot machine, where you're going to have to gamble. And you already know how much I love gambling. During this phase, you can either get snakes, tigers, or bulls. All 3 of these have their quirks, but ultimately you just have to get good at doing these 3 different phases, otherwise you're just going to be stuck doing them over and over again.
Yeah! I had to redo this because for some reason I don't have the footage for it.
The next boss we're going to face is Hilda Berg. During her first phase, the only thing that can directly attack you is whenever she laughs at you. Just lay bullets into her and dodge whatever these planes shoot at you until she finally enters her second phase. During her second phase, she's going to turn into a bull. The only way she can directly attack you is by bucking. The way to tell whenever she's about to buck is whenever she stops abruptly. She stops exactly 1 second before bucking, so you don't really have a lot of time to identify when she's about to buck. Her third phase is between 2 different phases. This can either be the Archer or it can be the 2 sisters. If it's the Archer, it's completely free. You just have to dodge these stars that will home in on your location. If it's the 2 sisters, they can summon this ball in the middle of the screen. Now it can seem kinda unfair with the ball spawning on top of you, but the attack can only come from the Y-axis, meaning up and down. As long as you're on one side of the ball, you can most likely dodge this attack really easily. During the third and final phase, Hilda will become a moon. During this phase, there will be 2 different things that can hurt you. One are the stars that are going to be coming straight at you, and the other are the UFOs. There are 2 different types of UFOs. One that will spawn on the player, and one that will try and predict player movement. But honestly, as long as you just go under them while they're midway through, they can't really hurt you. And with all that, phase is really easy. If you have your nuke, use it. If you don't worry about it. Unless, of course, tragedy strikes. Oh my god. Luckily, it didn't take me very long to win again.
Come on. Come on. Come on, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I'm the GOAT. I am the greatest of all time.
Now as for these bosses, they were a little bit difficult due to the fact that it was my first time playing Cuphead, but they weren't very difficult all things considered. And I kept this mentality going into the next boss, but nothing could prepare me for how difficult it would be to no-hit this boss. Cagney Carnation is probably one of the reasons you're clicking on this video. As doing research for the voiceover of this video, I learned that Cagney Carnation is one of the hardest bosses in the game to no-hit. He's not that hard normally, but when no-hitting he becomes incredibly difficult just due to the amount of stuff that's on screen at one time. And pretty much my only advice that I can give you when fighting Cagney is just to get good. There's no real strategy that I can bring up that's going to change the fact that this is an incredibly difficult boss on its own, and there's no strategies that will work for this boss. So you just kind of have to get good and deal with it.
Yes! I did it, Seeker! Fuck!
After this, I attempted the second run and gun level of Inkwell Isle 2, but I just could not comprehend the no-hit of this level. I did several different strategies, several different attempts, and every single time I would end up getting hit. I tried this for hours, and this was the first time I had ever tried something for an entire day and did not manage to beat it. So unfortunately, I had to give up on this run and gun. But luckily, due to the rules of this challenge, I only have to no-hit the bosses in order for it to count. So I moved on to Inkwell Isle 2 to fight Djinni, where something became abundantly clear. Every boss in Inkwell Isle 2 was consistently harder than Inkwell Isle 1. Add that to the fact that I was still relatively new to the game, and all of these bosses gave me a bit of trouble. All in all, Inkwell Isle 2 took me the longest of all three isles, but of course, I don't give up on challenges, even if they're extremely hard. The first boss, Djinni, has a few different attacks you can do in his first phase, the best of which is the treasure attack. Although at first this attack seems incredibly difficult, it becomes a lot easier to deal with once you've seen it a couple times and you start using your shrinking ability to its fullest extent. His second phase is made up of a little bit of RNG, but if you're skilled enough, you can manage to dodge the RNG and get through. The third phase is the most normal phase of all four phases. Start the phase off by shooting a Chomper right as he opens the door. After that, just focus on dodging every single attack, and the phase is pretty easy all things considered. On my first try doing this, I actually managed to get past this phase, so it's pretty easy all things considered. During the Cuphead phase, you might be tempted to nuke him. Don't. If you have chompers left, use a couple of those, but whatever you do, don't nuke him. We want to save the nuke for the final phase. During the actual Cuphead phase, there's going to be a hat that's going to come towards you. The Cuphead phase itself is not very hard, as long as you don't get too close to the boss, or get caught in the hat's trajectory. Now I'm going to admit, I wasn't paying attention to my cards, and accidentally nuked Cuphead, which means that the next phase is going to be significantly harder, but still doable. The last phase is by far the hardest, as you don't really have enough room to move around, and these pyramids are spinning constantly. During this phase, he can only shoot you with 2 attacks, but both of these attacks are incredibly tight timings. The easiest to dodge is this first psychic attack. It will shoot at your last known location, and all you gotta do is either move up or down depending on where the pyramids are. The second and hardest one to dodge is whenever the pyramids shoot out beams in all 4 directions. The only thing you can really do here is just position yourself in the best possible position you can.
Right at the end here. Yes!
Yippee!
Do! amazing, dude.
The next boss we're going to face is Beppy the Clown, who is easily the easiest boss in Inqua Isle 2. During Beppy's first phase, you're going to have to worry about two things. One is Beppy himself on his cart, as he's going to move back and forth throughout the entire arena. The way to get over him is just to jump over him, which is easier if you have the smokescreen effect. But you can't just simply jump over Beppy, because there are these little ducks that are above the screen. The only way to deal with these ducks is to either parry them or shoot them. It's much more consistent to shoot them than to try and parry them. Note that when you're on the left side of the screen, you want to try and jump and shoot them with the pea shooter. But whenever you're on the right side of the screen, you want to use your spread shot and shoot them. After he falls off his cart, you're going to enter the second phase. During this phase, the only way he can directly attack you is with these balloon dogs, who are pretty easy to deal with whenever you use the spread shot. During this phase, the roller coaster will also come by. All you gotta do is just pay attention and jump whenever you can. Just make sure you don't accidentally jump into a balloon dog. During Beppy's third phase, he's going to be on his Charlie horse. If you're directly under him, he can't attack you, but you need to be wary of the roller coaster, because if the roller coaster comes through while you're underneath him, you're going to get hit no matter what you do. During the phase transition from the third phase to the fourth phase, get right underneath Beppy as he appears in the middle of the screen and shoot up with your spread shot as much as you can to get as much damage as you can. During Beppy's fourth phase, he's going to shoot a bunch of penguins. These penguins will clutter up the screen if you're not careful. The way we're going to deal with them is by doing as much damage before Beppy spawns into penguins, and the moment a penguin starts rolling out of his mouth, we pop our invincibility. This way, we can skip the entire penguin phase altogether.
Hey Gunner, if you do it and stream it, I'll donate.
There we go! That's what I call a no-hit, baby! I am the fucking guy!
Now I'm going to say something to you real quick. The next boss that you are about to watch is the boss that single-handedly gave me the most trouble out of any boss in this entire game. And it's embarrassing to say that, because the single boss that gave me the most trouble out of the entire game is Baroness von Bonbon. Baroness von Bonbon single-handedly has the most RNG out of any boss in Cuphead, having 5 mini-bosses that she can spawn as well as the final phase. See, Baroness von Bonbon is unique in the fact that her phases aren't split up into a bunch of different fights she can do, but a bunch of different mini-bosses that you have to face. And these are completely random. Now I'm going to say this with all honesty. I attempted Baroness von Bonbon so many times that it nearly gave me a breakdown. But I don't have any of the footage of that because I deleted it all. Because I was so angry after beating Baroness von Bonbon that I just did not want you guys to see it. But, of course, now that I've calmed down and there's been a couple days since I beat her, I know that I should have uploaded those so that you guys could see it, but I was just so overwhelmingly angry at the time. So instead, I'm just going to tell you how to deal with her last phase, and you guys can fill in the blanks with my reaction to beating her. During Baroness's final phase, you're going to want to start the phase by jumping on the platform and shooting her, as the phase has a very long phase transition and her hitbox is only on her. Throughout this entire phase, her entire hitbox is just on Baroness herself, which makes her incredibly hard to hit while you're dodging. But I tell you this, focus on dodging first, getting hits in second. Because if you focus on getting damage in, you're going to get hit at some point. Make sure you use your smoke bomb and running around the arena to the absolute fullest during this phase, because you're going to need it.
Yes! Oh my god, I did it! I did it finally! Oh. Oh. That's the hardest thing I've done. No doubt.
And that statement is 100% true. because throughout the rest of this run, even the hardest bosses in the game didn't give me as much trouble as Baroness von Bonbon, which you'll see very soon. Willy Vorvel's first phase is completely free. As long as you stick to the left side of the screen, the eggs can't hit you unless they directly hit you. Does that even make any sense? Secondly, the birds that fly in through the screen, as long as you stay within the middle, they can't really get to you. Unless you want to shoot them, which you can just face them head on and shoot them and they'll die within a few shots. But this is a bit riskier because it puts you in a static position. Willy's second phase may look a bit scary on the surface, but as long as you pay attention to which feather is closest to you, it is fairly easy all things considered. In Willy's third phase, his son, Wally Worvels, takes over. During this phase, it seems a bit scary, but as long as you focus on moving through the eggs whenever you can and going around him whenever you can, this phase is also completely free. Though I will state, this phase will take the longest of all, simply because the eggs protect Wally whenever they get close. Willy's fourth phase is the hardest of all 4 phases. What you're going to want to do is stay in the left corner. If any attack comes towards you, just simply dodge it, or parry it if it's possible. If Willy happens to move towards the left, use your nuke to get out of the situation, and then make sure that you don't get hit by any trash when you're moving back to the left side of the screen.
Come on. Please, 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 please. Yes, 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 that's what I'm talking about. This one was nowhere near as hard, but it was quite boring, honestly. Alright, let's see if I got it in under 2 minutes. Unfortunately, no. We'll take all that.
Grim is the first boss where I find my first problem with this game. RNG-based platforming. See, Cuphead at its very core is a platforming, bullet hell style of game, and obviously has platforming mechanics for that. I have no problem with most of the platforming mechanics. I actually think that they're implemented extremely well. But in a platforming game, I do believe that you should have consistent platforms to stand on. Because if you don't have consistent platforms to stand on, it defeats the whole purpose of a platformer. A lot of Grim's difficulty in the first and second phase is just not having a platform to go to whenever an attack is coming right at you. But for the most part, as long as you pay attention, there's usually always a platform there. But sometimes there isn't, which is why I have to complain. During Grim's first phase, there's 3 attacks that he can do. Another psychic based attack that will come directly at your location. All you gotta do is either jump or dash to another platform. A second attack that he can do is this fireball attack. All you gotta do is just pay attention to where the fireballs are at all times, and just make sure that you get past them before they can hit you, because they will go over the entire arena. After a certain amount of health is taken off Grim, he will start doing this tail attack that splits the arena in 2. If you can get it to one of the sides of the screen, that's the best case scenario, but if you can't, it's okay, just focus on dodging. During Grim's second phase, use the lobber to get in damage. During this phase, he's going to have fireballs that go along the bottom of the screen. Randomly, some of the fireballs will jump at you. Whenever they do this, just jump straight up or move to another platform. Make sure you pay attention to which direction these fireballs are going, because you don't have a lot of time to dodge once they get into the air. During Grim's third phase, he's going to shoot fireballs at you that when destroyed will split into 4 separate fireballs. Do not shoot these fireballs under any circumstances, and if you do, dodge as quickly as you can. During this phase, we're going to want to kill him as soon as possible because we don't want him to be able to do all 3 of his attacks. So you're going to want to pop your invincibility and use the lava to get in as much damage as you possibly can.
Yeah, baby! I knew that was the run. I knew that was the run. Oh. Got an achievement. I don't know what I got, though.
Probably for being the boss. Or the enemy.
With that, Inkwell Isle 2 is done, and the game is about to get significantly harder. Starting off Inkwell Isle 3, we have one of the hardest bosses in the game, Rumor Honeybottoms. Again, most of Rumour Honeybottom's difficulty comes from the fact that the platforms are completely RNG, but it's more egregious with Rumour Honeybottom's because there could be an entire group of platforms that just straight up don't spawn. During the first phase, all you gotta do is damage this cop B as much as possible and avoid his bombs whenever they explode. During her second phase, there are 3 different attacks that she can do. This triangle will spawn on your location and shoot smaller triangles out of each of its points. The only thing I can tell you to do is avoid as much as possible, because it took me forever to learn how to dodge this attack, and this attack being completely random means that you might get a run where you just don't experience it. The next attack that she can do is going straight in the middle. During this attack, she will shoot smaller bullet bees that travel across the entire arena. The best way to dodge these is stay on one side of the arena, whether that's the left or the right, and then drop down under them whenever they're about to hit you. I prefer to use the lobber during this phase to hit her as much as possible, while staying above her. This way, whenever she shoots them out, they can't directly hit you. This ball attack is the next attack that she can do. The ball is going to home in on your location at all times. Just move around the arena until the ball stops following you, at which time you'll probably have a second ball that will spawn in soon. During her last phase, damage her as much as possible when she's at the top of the screen, and then when she's at the bottom of the screen, pop your invincibility and use the lobber to hit her as much as possible.
Yes! I did it, baby! Finally. Oh my god. That took so long, man.
Continuing with the difficulty, we have possibly the hardest boss in the game, who I'm going to refer to as the Robot. During the Robot's first phase, you're going to have to damage 3 parts of his body. And each time you break one of these body parts, he's going to do a new attack from that body part. Whenever you start out the phase, move to the top of the screen and damage the antenna as much as possible. Then, when he's about to attack, go down and get rid of these little flying things, because if you don't, they'll clutter up the screen. Then, you just repeat that cycle over and over again until the antenna's done. Once the antenna's done, you break his stomach open. Whenever you break his stomach open, he's going to start shooting nukes out of the stomach. Make sure you destroy these nukes before they get close to you. Do not try and dodge them. Finally, once you break his chest, he's going to reveal his heart, at which Phase 2 begins. During Phase 2, he's going to turn into a little head, and during this, he's going to fly around the arena and shoot nukes. Damage him as much as you possibly can, as this is an extremely short phase. And if you see the nukes, either destroy them or dodge them, depending on what you can do in that moment. But I will say, your main focus should be on dodging the nukes and doing as much damage to him as possible. Phase 3 is where you're going to have to lock in. There are 2 different attacks he can do in this phase. They are pretty similar but have one glaring difference, and that is that one of them is significantly easier to dodge than the other. During this phase, he has the red gem and blue gem phases. If he chooses the blue gem, it is significantly easier to dodge than the red gem. My only advice for you during these phases is to abuse your shrinking ability as much as possible and just focus on dodging. All in all, if you get good, the phase should be significantly easy. Unless, of course, tragedy strikes again.
Oh, I couldn't see. I literally could not see. Come on. Oh my god, no! Oh my god, are you kidding me? It happened again, oh my god.
But as I said before, I don't give up.
My- Woo! I am the guy, the man, the best.
The stage play and the rat are completely
Yeah.
free bosses, so I won't even cover them in this video.
Please. Yes! That's what I'm talking about.
Calamaria has the most RNG first phase of all time, but there really isn't a way for me to explain to you how to deal with each individual one because there's a near infinite amount of things that can happen. Because she doesn't just do one attack at a time. She can do one attack at a time, but she can also do multiple attacks at a time. And it's going to be very difficult for me to explain all that. And I also know that the Schlimdor audience isn't going to sit here and watch all that. So instead, here's some brain rot for you guys.
What's up, guys? It's Quandale Dingle here. I have been arrested for multiple crimes, including battery on a police officer.
During her second phase transition, you're going to want to position yourself right on her hand. This way, you're damaging her head while also preparing for the first stone attack. After about 4 hand movements, move directly upwards to avoid her stone attack. Unfortunately, I didn't get to, but most of the time this does work. After that, prepare your nuke so that you can nuke the eels and make sure that they're not a factor in this phase. During her last phase, you can pretty much just play normally. As long as you get through all of the obstacles or position yourself in a good position whenever she stones you, you're likely not to get hit.
Actually, I have no idea what you're talking about. But,
Hidden bunker.
Oh. Yeah, I wish. No, but
Please, please.
there's like
please,
this little
please.
compound. And there's like a 3 or 4 star
I did it.
rating. I think it was 4 schools.
The Nightmare Express is the last boss before Inkwell Hell, and unless you take this boss like I do, it's likely to be incredibly difficult. My strategy with this boss is super risky, but super rewarding if you can get it. So, follow my lead. During the first phase, position yourself to the far right of the cart. We are planning on keeping the cart from moving the entire time. While at this position, you're going to use the spread shot to damage the boss. The reason you want to use the spread shot is because it usually destroys the eyes before they can get to you. Then, once a pumpkin comes over your head and drops a parryable object, jump up and parry it as quickly as possible, because the farther down it gets, the harder it is to parry. During the next phase, generally we're not going to move the cart at all, and we're just going to allow the pumpkins to move it. This phase is nearly entirely RNG, but we can circumvent the RNG slightly by positioning ourselves to the edge of the cart the moment we're put into the path of a hand. The next phase is the twins, which is a completely free phase, because if you position yourself all the way to the right or the left of the cart, you will not get hit by any of the attacks that the twins throw at you. The last phase is whenever you fight the train itself, and in this phase is where you're going to have to lock in and aim. The only way to damage it is by parrying the tail of the train. Once you do, it will open its heart up and allow you to damage it. After this, pop your invincibility and do as much damage as you can. Don't worry if you aren't able to kill the heart in one go. Just lock in and dodge. This is the easiest of all of the phases by far.
There we go, baby. There we fucking go. There we go, baby. There we fucking go, man. That's what I'm talking about.
With that, we are finally able to enter Inkwell Hell and see the last 2 bosses of this game, with one of these bosses causing me the most pain I've ever experienced.
What? Oh my god. I hate you. I hate you so much. I hate you. I hate you, Kickers. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. Just die, man. Just die. I don't. It doesn't even feel good, man. It doesn't even feel good. But what? I legit just sat in the floor
Just staring off into nothingness. This is the worst boss in Cuphead. If I was ever transported into a fictional universe and that fictional universe happened to be Cuphead and I saw King Dice, I would genuinely fucking murder King Dice. I would genuinely beat the living shit out of him. I would break every tooth in his fucking head, rip every fucking eyeball out, break every fucking bone in his body, and then just leave him because I fucking hate this boss. Against every fucking piece of equipment in this fucking room. Like, can I do that? Can I please let me do that? Oh my god, oh my god. What the fuck? Can I just beat the fuck out of this guy? Can I just literally just take my hands and start punching him in the fucking face? Like punching him in the fucking die, like literally just cracking his fucking skull against every fucking... I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I no-hit the entire game. Are you kidding me? We're counting that, boys. We're counting that. Boo. Boo. We're counting that. I don't care. I'm done with this boss. I don't care. Nope. I have to do it again. I have to do it again. I have to do it until I get it. I don't care anymore. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I'm done. 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 I beat the boss twice in a fucking row. I'm done. I'm done fighting that boss. I'm done. 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 I'm done for today. I'm done. I'll come back later. I'm done. I'm done for today, man. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm just done, okay? I'm just done. 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 I fought King Dice for 10 hours straight. If you were in the Discord, you heard the entire story, but I woke up at 10 a.m. and I fought King Dice until 5:30 p.m. I had been playing for over 10 hours at that point, fighting the same boss over and over and over again. I had gotten to King Dice 5 times. And all 5 of those times, I did not manage to no-hit him. I did not go back to fight King Dice. I am sorry that maybe someday I will go back to this challenge and I'll no-hit King Dice, but not today. I got so overstimulated by King Dice that I was forced to take a long break from the game. I did not want to fight King Dice anymore. I don't want to think about King Dice anymore. I don't want to talk about him anymore. I'm sorry I didn't no-hit the entirety of Cuphead my first try, but I no-hit most of it. I tell you to enjoy the next no-hit I'm going to do, because the devil is a significantly harder and more complicated boss. Enjoy. To start out this phase, start out with a charge shot, and then switch to the spread shot and start jumping up and down to do damage to him. For most of the attacks, you can only really learn them through experience, but for 2 specific attacks, I can tell you exactly how to deal with them. If his horns turn into ram horns, he's going to clap his hands together. Wait a second before you jump, because he can delay this attack by a little bit. Once you jump, use your smoke bomb to dash to keep yourself in the air a little bit longer, just in case he delays it a little bit longer than your delay. The dragon attack is easy to dodge, but you might get a situation where the little devil that runs around is on your side. Just take it slow and use your spread shot to take him out before you get in that corner. But sometimes it's so perfectly timed that you're unable to deal with the devil before he hits you. During the second phase, he can only do 2 attacks, these being the bomb that comes out of his ear and the axe that comes out of his eye. If he shoots the axe, just focus on the axe and dodge it whenever it comes near you, but if he does the bomb, parry the bomb if it's on your side, and move to the very left if it's not, because the radius is huge. During the third phase, he will always spawn the purple demon on the left first. Make sure you kill it with either your charge shot or spam it with your bread shot to kill it. After this, the only thing you really need to watch for is the other purple demon on the right side, who will shoot skulls at you every once in a while. Some of these can be parried while others can't. Either duck under them or jump under them. These little bat demons, try and kill them as soon as you can, and if you can't, just try and dodge as best you can. In the last phase, it's pretty much over. Pop your invincibility and shoot directly up with your spread shot. The devil goes down in just a few shots. I'd like to take a second to point out how closely I got to being hit by the bottom of the screen here. It was literal pixels away.
Please, 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 please be over. Yes! 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 50 hours! 50 hours! Oh my god! Fucking finally, man. I know I didn't 100. I know I didn't no-hit every boss in the game. And I'm sorry for that, but I understand the pain now. That at the very start, like in the midway through, it was completely fine. You know, there was a couple times where I was just like, I just wanted to stop, but I kept going. But when I got to King Dice, and I tell you, the mental torment that King Dice put me through for 10 straight hours, I don't know how to describe it, man. And that's the thing you guys don't get. I fought him for 10 straight hours. From 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., which is, let's calculate. 4 plus 5, 30. It was approximately 9 hours and 30 minutes. But still, like, oh my god. That is probably the worst I have ever, like, the most mental breakdowny I've ever had. Like, the closest I've come to, like, just quitting a challenge, but I don't do that. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm sorry I didn't beat King Dice, but I beat every other character in the entire game hitless, so... And all of that will be released, like I'll mention it in the video. I'm going to put an unlisted video of every single boss fight in the description. That way you guys can go watch it and, you know, see me no-hit every boss. Pretty much. But, yeah, I can definitely safely say that while this may not be the challenge that I've beaten that... Okay, I don't even know where I'm going with that. Like, 1% of players have beaten a lot of challenges that I've done. And I'm sure a lot more players have beaten Cuphead no-hit, because Cuphead is a very common game to no-hit. But in the scope of hardest challenges I have done, this is the hardest. This is purely, like,
because like stuff like Sister Location and Scrutinize took me multiple days. But the difference is Scrutinize is in a game that takes about 2 hours to complete and in a complete run, unless you're speedrunning. And in that sense of just going in and playing the game, going in and playing the game, Scrutinize took way longer to beat. With this game, I could do it segmented, so if I beat a boss, I could just go off, go eat, come back the next day, and that's pretty much what I did. I would beat one boss per day, which is why it took a little bit longer than usual, but I think that's the top one challenge. Top one challenge. I am glad I did it. It was an eye-opening experience, for sure. I am planning a lot of things in the future. I've talked to the community. The community in the Discord is very active. I love that. And I love how respectful they are to Link, and I love how respectful they are to all my friends that are in there. I love them so much. Big shout out to my friend Juju. Go look at his channel. I'll link it in the Discord and also in the description of this video. He pushes me a lot. Like, if I'm doing a challenge and I'm talking to him, I'm like, I'm thinking about just not doing it, and he will push me through it. He's a good guy, and I think I'm glad this is over, so I can start focusing on regular challenges again, because regular challenges take me 1 to 3 days to complete. But anyway, I'll send you guys off. Thank you for watching.